on this statement. And ladies and gentlemen, in a historic pushback against Chinese aggression, India for the last 4 years has resolutely stood its ground to get a complete disengagement of Chinese troops along the LAC. Today, the Ministry of External Affairs came up with a bit of a suo moto comment that India and China have finally settled for a patrolling agreement along the LAC, which means that the pre-2020 Galwan Clash status will now be largely restored along the LAC.
In a historic pushback against Chinese aggression, the MEA announced that it has reached an agreement with China over border disengagement.
As a result of the discussions that have taken place over the last several weeks, an agreement has been arrived at on patrolling arrangements along the line of actual control in the India-China border areas. And this is leading to disengagement and eventually a resolution of the issues that had arisen in these areas in 2020.
This development comes just days after External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar hinted at India and China having completed 75% of disengagement talks during an event in Geneva.
So we've been negotiating now for close to 4 years. And the first step of that is what we call disengagement, which is that their troops go back to their normal operating bases and our troops go back to our normal operating bases. And where required, we have an arrangement about patrolling, because both of us patrol regularly in that border, because, as I said, it's not a legally delineated border. Those negotiations are going on. We made some progress. I would say roughly, you can say about 75% of the disengagement problems are sorted out. We still have some things to do.
The development comes after back-to-back high-level talks that were held between Indian and Chinese counterparts in the last 3 months. This included the meeting of NSA Ajit Doval and Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi at St. Petersburg on the sidelines of the BRICS NSAS meeting. India made steady progress in the last 4 years with various disengagement agreements along the LAC to restore pre-2020 status quo. Depsang and Demchok were the last two key strategic areas where disengagement talks were stalled for the longest time. With this agreement for Depsang and Demchok regions, India and China have taken a step closer to complete disengagement along the LAC on flashpoints of the 2020 clashes. The significant development on the eve of the BRICS summit in Kazan, Russia, which will be attended by both Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping, adds another layer of anticipation of possibly the first official engagement between the two top world leaders since the sidelines of the G20 summit at Bali in 2022.
I have with me this evening 4 of our guests lined up. That's Ajay Alok of the BJP, America and Narayana Akhilswamy are pro-Congress, and Swasti Rao is an assistant fellow at the Manohar Parrikar Institute, or IDSA. So I start with you, Swasti, on this. I feel this is fairly significant, but what is important was that it was almost a suo moto comment. The reporter asked some other question, and it's quite clear that the MEA spokesperson wanted to make this a headline before the Prime Minister's visit. Is this purely aimed at the upcoming BRICS event, or on its own, you know, is this a significant announcement?
Yeah. Okay. Good evening, Arnab, and thank you for your question. So, very quickly, yes, there is a context to it, which is that, yes, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping are going to be meeting the sidelines of the BRICS summit. And this is going to start tomorrow. So, obviously, it makes sense for them to sort of have this kind of a favorable disposition towards each other. So, that's one part. But, however, to reduce it to merely the fact that they have to, since they have to meet at the BRICS summit, therefore, they have only done something at a superficial level is not something I agree to. Like you mentioned, that there are basically two things, that there is a disengagement process to happen at the LAC, and there's also a de-escalation process to happen at the LAC. What we have seen right now is disengagement, okay? And this disengagement, somebody can argue that this is a small step, but I think, in my opinion, this is an incremental step, and another step can be taken, which can be built on this. So nobody here is saying that the complete problem at LAC has been resolved, but what we have achieved after so many years of negotiation, okay, and without really bowing down to any Chinese pressure or tactic or this and that, is that we have agreed mutually to try and disengage, and especially at the key areas of Depsang and Demchok, because Depsang is also a place where in 2013 there was a face-off. Now, this, of course, de-escalation is not happening, and I hope that this de-escalation can be also reached out later. However, the only caveat, Arnab, that I would like to leave the audience with, and everybody else is is that Chinese are masters at doublespeak. The last important event of Chinese interference in Indian political system was, of course, during the Manmohan Singh years, when there was this hue and cry about how to engage China, and we kind of, closed our eyes to a lot of things that the Chinese were doing, and something that we are now sort of somewhere in later years we, reap the consequences for. So the Chinese are masters at doublespeak. The Chinese take one step forward and two steps backwards, and this is what Chinese have been all about. They have backstabbed India at a time when India was honoring all the commitments. So all this has to be taken with a pinch of salt, and I would say this has to be rooted in strong strategic realism. And finally, the thing is that India has always been clear, whether it's Pakistan or China, that our bilateral issues and our bilateral, disagreements or whatever conflicts with our neighbors, something that we deal with bilaterally. Yeah. So there has never been a kind of a space for the third-party engagement, and I think we'll stand by that. So this is a complete picture of what I feel this conflict is about.
But at least, thank you for that, Swasti. But at least our pro-Congress voices should say thank you to this government for clearing the mess that they created. I mean, all this mess, when the Chinese stopped us from patrolling, they set up remote camps almost 18, 19 kilometers into our territory. Who was in power? America, I know your hand is up. You was in power. Sonia Gandhi was in power through the puppet Manmohan Singh. Who was in power when Budse became a flashpoint? When PP10, PP11, PP12, PP13, all the points patrolling stopped, who was in power? Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi were in power through the puppet sort of Manmohan Singh. Right? So it's difficult. It has taken 11 years to clear this up. Right, America? So say thank you.
All right.
Say thank you.
I wish I could, if it really happens. But to put things in perspective, it is two meetings that Modi had in Chennai once, one in native state, where there is a Bonhomme front. But right at that point, China showed its real color, coming inside India and holding the placard.
Sorry, America, I can't let you get away with lies. The fact is that your leader Rahul Gandhi signed a secret agreement of which I have pictures, put them on air, with Xi Jinping, and within 4 years of that, while having a private relationship with the Congress government, while giving crores of rupees to the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, the Chinese prevented Indian patrolling from 4 points.
You can hog the show as always you do.
No, but the agreement, the flashpoint happened 4 years after this signature.
Why don't you allow him to speak? Why don't you allow
Would you
him
mind
to speak?
finishing my thing, or you want to just hog the show? Then why do you call us?
No, I'm not hogging the show. I'm just fixing what you said.
The two meetings, Bonhomme meetings, for the stage was set up and Chinese showed the real color, and the 2,000 square miles of India subsequent to the worst thing after Akasi Chin has happened during this period of Modi meeting at 2014 and 17. So let's get that fact. However, now, even today...
Now, tell me 4 points on this 2,000... No, sorry. You just said 2,000 square kilometer. Please tell me 4 points on the perimeter of this 2,000 square, fictitious 2,000 square kilometer thing. America, I am cornering you. America, I am cornering you. Either you or Akhil, give me 4 points along the perimeter of this fictitious 2,000 kilometers that you claims has been captured by the Chinese. Akhil, if you can give me 4 points, I will give you a medal. Give me 4 points. Name the 4 points.
They have not come into our territory. So
name the 4 points.
Okay?
Name 4 points. Don't pretend you can't hear me.
Name
4 points.
Is being done on the sideline of BRICS.
Name 4 points. Don't dodge, don't duck. Name 4 points.
Are you an anchor or a BJP spokesperson?
I'm a very good and very aggressive anchor who you are trembling in front of because I'm asking you 4 points. Because you don't have 4 points.
You allow him to speak.
Do you know 4 points? Do you know 4 points? Okay, you tell me, Akhil. You tell me, which 4 points am I talking about? Tell me 4 points. He mentioned 2,000 kilometers. 2,000 kilometers, 4 points. Name 4 points.
He won't allow him to speak.
Name 4 points.
He would allow only BJP
Say, I don't know.
to speak.
I'm asking a question.
No, you will keep asking questions.
No, I'm asking you a question here. Name 4 points. Name 4 points.
You allow
Name
the
4 points.
person speaking for 5
because
minutes.
because of your seniority and age, I'm not punching you back.
5 minutes.
But I am only gently pushing you back. I'm saying, name 4 points.
You are a BJP.
You can't answer.
You are not an anchor.
You don't know anything. You have no knowledge of geography, strategy, India-China relations. What do you teach, man? What do you teach? What are you a professor of?
Why do you call
I
us?
pity your students. Now you are quiet. Name 4 points. I go back to one-on-one America with no covering fire from Akhil Swami will take on Ajay Alok. 2 people on the debate. Name 4 points, America.
It is irrelevant.
Irrelevant?
Whether... No.
Irrelevant.
Arnab, if I want to ask you a question in accounting, I know Financial Accounting Standards Board, it will be as stupid as you asking me this.
I'm not. I don't even claim to know accounting at all. I'm not even interested. I'm not even interested. But you claim that you know about India-China relations.
A logical, common sense question, and you are nitpicking as you regularly do.
I'm asking you a question on a subject I know. Are you saying you don't know anything about this issue?
Trying to discuss a total macro level thing. You are nitpicking. You just shows your knowledge of what we are talking about.
You can't debate with me. 1 minute, just one.
Really?
1 minute. See, America, listen. America, I'll have to squish you right now, metaphorically like a mosquito. And I'm asking you, name 4 points of the 2,000 kilometers. Name 4 points. 4 points along the 2,000 kilometers that you liars claim that we have lost our territory. You're a bunch of liars, and I'm going to expose you nice and proper. Name 4 points.
It is irrelevant.
Name 4. Don't keep crying irrelevant. You make an accusation, stand for it, man. Name 4 points.
Right, it's irrelevant. I'm not going to ask you.
You're about to cry. You're about to cry because you don't know even 2 points.
Listen, in the Galwan Valley today, north of the river, they accumulated the entire thing after Modi has come into power. Can you deny that? Can you or can't you?
Okay, so I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'll let Ajay take that because I don't want to hog the limelight on my show. But I'll tell you what. I have never met someone who's as big an ignoramus as you. The fact of the matter is that in 2009, 1 minute, I'll tell you. In 2009, the PLA made the first offensive move strongly at Track Junction Nala in the south at the Butse/Depsang plains. I thought people like you will know this much. You come unprepared, without information, and then you cry when I beat you back on my program.
I'm no expert in foreign policy.
Good. Then why? No, what were you saying so? But then don't. If you're not an expert, then leave it to us. We know.
As a common man. I have come here as a common man to question your stupidity.
You can be a common man, but if you're ignorant on a subject, then please say I'm ignorant. Don't tell Akhil Swami to bat
I
for you.
don't need to know what exactly are the phone points to tell you what Modi
if
has
you
done,
don't
what he has
know,
failed
then say,
to do,
Arnab, I don't know anything.
How Russia is pushing on this whole thing.
Ajay Alok is on the debate tonight. Viewers, Ajay
He
Alok.
will insult South.
I am not insulting anyone. I'm taking you on and giving you squarely back. I'm very polite till you're polite.
Okay,
you try and act smart with me, Akhil Swami, then you push me across the Lakshman Rekha, but I wouldn't use bad language unlike you. I can get back in a decent manner.
Now
I'm an educated man.
Speak for 5 minutes.
I hope you are.
You will not speak, utter a single word when Alok is speaking. Just, I will remind you.
If Ajay Alok makes a factual mistake, I will stop him 1,000 times.
You are a biased empire.
ठीक है यार, I'm a biased empire. Okay, whatever I may be, I am better than a human seesaw like you. You are a human seesaw. You don't know which side you are on.
You are a Godi media.
That's all right. Now Ajay Alok is on the debate with you. Ajay, now listen. Is this squarely timed? Is this squarely timed? Be quiet. Ajay Alok, is this squarely timed at trying to create a good atmosphere before the BRICS summit?
See, first of all, I would like to say, Mr. Marikai, that if Arnab asks irrelevant question, then why you are presenting irrelevant facts that the China has claimed 2,000 square kilometer of territories? That's the most irrelevant fact. It's a figment of imagination of Rahul Gandhi, which you are echoing. This is the truth. Because since 1962, China has been claiming our lands till 2013. Now, let me rehearse a shlok for you in Ved. Deva durbala ghataka. I hope you understand. It means God also kills who is weak. Since 2020, we have shown to China what we are capable of doing. We have not submitted in front of China by saying that this land, this does not grow any grass, so let it be. No, we have just shown them what we are made of. Infrastructural development at the border areas, the connectivity at the border areas, our soldier presence at the border areas, getting drone supervision from border areas, all these things have compelled China that yes, they are not in a position to confront us. So better is to improve the relation. And that goes,
I am sitting here. Are you missing me? 1 minute. I'm sitting right here. Are you missing me? Let him complete.
Interrupt him.
I won't do what you tell me, right? Did I tell you to become an ostrich? Did I tell you to become an ostrich?
If I'm saying anything wrong,
let him complete, then you come back.
No, if I'm saying anything wrong, if I'm saying anything irrelevant, you interrupt me.
You don't know anything about foreign affairs.
Yes. I'm a doctor, but at least I'm well read. I'm a doctor, I'm well read.
You do not know
I know the facts.
anything about relations.
Don't worry about me. I'm practicing politics. I'm practicing and I'm well read.
You are
unlike you, who is absolutely ignorant about the facts. You is absolutely ignorant about the facts.
Now you are in BJP. Next time you will be in RJD.
What irrelevant talks now you are doing? Actually, you both are irrelevant, basically. I went to RJD, I went to RCP. Is that what we are discussing here?
Silly.
Who is irrelevant?
Childish.
You or me? Now here we are talking a strengthening India, a strengthened India, a strong India. What's irking you? What's irking you? And Mr. America, if India is becoming strong, why do you have problem? Like Congress people, like Congress folks.
Canada and America, your relations are
what is happening.
And you are making friend China.
The Ministry of External Affairs making statement and it's bluff.
You are making friendship with China. And
where are you jumping guns?
Canada and America.
Where you are jumping guns? Stay on China.
From Canada.
Stay on China. We have given the Canadians what they needed.
Your relations are with Canada.
We have given the Canadians what they needed.
Relations are with America.
Right. Don't worry about Canada. We are discussing China here. Basically, you guys are unable to digest the fact that under Prime Minister Modi leadership, India's foreign relations is improving and strengthening every day by day. And the world is acknowledging India's growth as a superpower. This you cannot digest.
I think Akhil Swami is unprepared. I think Akhil Swami is unprepared. Chronology samjho.
You are anti-Hindu.
What are you debating, man? I mean, the only expert here is only expert here is Swasti Rao. At least I am aware. You are all unaware.
China is your friend. America, Canada is your enemy.
This is the problem with the
What type of
Congress
politics
party.
are
They
you
know
doing?
nothing about anything. This is the problem.
Can I come in?
And neither do you make an attempt to know.
Can I come in,
No,
please?
I'm sorry, but your clock is stuck. You think Salman Khurshid is the foreign minister of India today. America, I'll ask you 3 points here because it is a political issue. See, I'm not saying everything has been fixed. I'm saying,
Media, that's all.
yeah, God's sake, I'm saying everything has not been fixed. You know, all the provocative moves of China of 2020 are not fixed, but you are processing, you're moving significantly towards the situation. Let's look at the big picture. Obviously, Swasti, India is doing this, as you said, not only because of the BRICS summit. It's also...
Would you allow me to speak or not?
Have you ever listened to anyone in your life? Why behaving like this?
You are allowing her second time.
Yeah, because she's the expert, not you.
You have not given me chance.
I gave you and you missed it. Now, please don't embarrass yourself.
Now you are giving second chance to Swati.
I am, because she made a lot of sense, unlike you in her first engagement.
Then your empire is biased. Why should I be here?
That's your choice. My question to Swasti...
Allow me to speak. Give me a chance to speak.
Yeah, please don't behave like Idi Amin on my program. Please, 2 minutes. Now, my question, it's not your way or the highway. My question to Swasti is, Swasti, see, let's look at the situation with seriousness. Obviously, we need to do a bit of balancing as well. We are not going in for a BRICS currency. We are not going all out, right?
Yeah.
We need to work with the Americans. What we must make it clear to the Americans that we are not at a state of huge turmoil with China. And we need America to do the rescue number. Can you explain this, in geostrategic terms?
So, well, very quickly, I mean, okay, just because these, some gentlemen were very offended and they didn't understand. So if you allow me 10 seconds, if they really wanted to make some sense, they could have actually mentioned these 4 patrolling points, patrolling points 14, 16, 18, and 19, where actually you were asking them for 4 points. And these are the 4 points, actually. So it's a very simple answer, where China had basically blocked India's patrolling. And exactly this is the disengagement that we have been trying to basically achieve through the latest talks. So I think that's a short answer to this long discussion that you were earlier having. Now, with respect to the America question and, all India's multi-alignment, see, Arnab, I think I'm of the view, and which is, I believe, a more legit view of looking at things, is that diplomacy is never a zero-sum game. Diplomacy is all about expanding your convergences and, minimizing your divergences. And in that regard, there are certain values and there are certain principles by which India stands. One of those principles are that India believes in multi-alignment. India believes in pushing for a multipolar world order, because a multipolar world is definitely a safer world. If you look at what is happening in Indo-Pacific with the rise in great power contestation between US and China, of course, it makes the world very dangerous. So very quickly, because India has these core commitments, right, when it comes to the world order, and then there's also a third thing, which is that India takes a lot of pride, okay, and genuine pride in being the voice of the global South. Now, because of all this, you see the pattern of foreign policy emerging the way it does, which is that, yes, on the one hand, we definitely need important strategic partnerships. I mean, today we have a lot of 2+2 mechanisms with a lot of Western powers. We have a lot of technological cooperation with them. We have a lot of defense industry cooperation with them. And in that sense, we have, very justifiably diversified away from our dependencies on China. And I think kudos to the Modi government to actually put that into place, because everybody talked about it, but nobody could really do it. And that, along with self-reliance, but on the other hand, India knows the value of engaging Russia. India knows that India has to be a part of SCO and BRICS, because it does not wish that these kind of multilateral organizations become dominated by China.
Yeah, but,
so yes, we are careful.
But at the same time, one point I'd like to add to your points, Swasti, and maybe America and Akhil will understand it, that this also, we have leverage. The Chinese economy is slowing down. They need greater access to our markets. They need to build in investments. So we are doing things knowing that we also have levers on them. This is a two-way negotiation. So America and Akhil, would you like to... I just get responses from the two men, please. Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
Can I?
Yes.
Does he? If you want to go ahead, let him go ahead. Can I?
Yeah, go. Decide.
Okay. I want to start. Now, I do not deny that peace is more important. It is in the interest of every country. and for the development of the country. But the real question is, she talked about multipolar world. And the multipolar world, we are strong today after 75 years of independence based on the basis created by various prime ministers even before Modi. But even without that, we created a third voice in the world during the time of Nehru and subsequently carried forward. So it's not the first time I agree that it should not be a bipolar world, but we should have our thing. And I think there are certain things, I'm not saying everything Modi ji does is wrong. As a matter of fact, very recently, I think Rahul Gandhi said, in foreign policy, there's no major disagreement. The question is when you're trying to project it as if he is the only man who has done it, and I, as the opposition, have a responsibility.
I think we are talking about national policy. I want Ajay to respond to that because I have limited time. No. The point is that the point is the point is, sir.
And I'm also warning you and the viewers today that never trust the Chinese.
Well, no, never trust the Americans either. Never trust the Italians. Never trust the British. Never trust anyone. Never trust anyone. I wouldn't even trust you.
Modi has been
America.
twice.
Never trust anyone. That's the policy. There's nothing new about it. Okay, Ajay Alok, 10-second counter. Ajay Alok, I see a hand up. Ajay.
Not me, not Akhil Swami, not Akhil Swami. I won't get a chance.
We never trust anyone, nor we are dependent on anyone. Number one. Number two, if you're talking of Modi, if you're so much obsessed with Modi, let me remind you, it was during Nehru. It was during Nehru that during China war, he didn't allow our Indian Air Force to have a strike. So this is the basic difference between Nehru and Modi. Don't get self-obsessed with your obsession, obsessive compulsive neurosis with Modi is understood.
Play game with me. He is not allowing me to speak. He is not allowing me.
Sir, I was never a sportsman. I don't play games. I thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, no, I don't play games. I don't play games. I don't even play games with myself. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the Baba